Oh, what is the XGs, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXGamerCast. We're on episode 150 of my little gaming show where once a week I just has to talk about video games, whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter. Video games. And today, we're taking a look at possibly my front runner for Game of the Year right now, and that is FromSoft's Armored Core 6. Fires of Rubicon. What a badass name that is right there. Holy jumping. But before we get into this review and just praising of this amazing video game, let us discuss, well, two things. Let's discuss what I've been up to over the last week or so and a little podcast update. So let's do the update first, get that out of the way. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now running 3 podcasts by myself with 3 to 5 episodes per week, depending on wrestling. So some cuts are going to be made. WrestleCast, you're cut. You're cut. I can't keep up with the weekly reviews anymore. There's about, and you can really blame WWE for this, for, cranking out way too much content. I can't keep up. I can barely keep up with AEW anymore, and it's becoming a little bit of a slog to watch 18 hours of wrestling, dedicated. Like, I am watching it, I am taking notes, I am reviewing the shows. I'm burnt out. I can't do it no more, so we won't be doing the weekly recaps on AEW, WWE, but I believe I still want to do pay-per-view reviews, so, I still want to keep that going possibly, because I still like to watch pay-per-views. It's just the weekly viewing. I've been doing this for almost 4 years now. I'm burnt out. I'm tie-tie. So we're going to cut that out. And when it comes to the hockey cast, the hockey cast, I'm thinking about just cutting it because it's kind of just a redundant show. There's so many, better hockey shows out there to listen to. They have insiders, they have people on the inside, they got former players with fucking current and former players coming on for interviews, and then there's me. And I'm just rehashing and that's the thing about hockey podcasts, they all kind of say the same shit, especially with news. Like, they all kind of have one or two opinions about it. It's rather they're for it or against it. And yeah, I just feel like I'm a very, very, very tiny fish in a massive sea ocean of hockey podcasts. And it just feels like I love talking hockey, but, I can talk about hockey with friends and people at work. So I think I'm probably going to take at least a hiatus, possibly cancel the hockey cast as well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Now, the GamerCast, we're leaving the GamerCast alone. I still love doing the GamerCast every week. It's something I do truly look forward to doing every single week. And, same thing with the Hockey Cast as well. I really like doing that show. I just feel a bit defeated. I've been doing it for so long, and it's by far my least viewed, I think, or listened to show of the 3. I mean, the weekly recaps are pretty low as well. So, and they take a lot more work. Like the GamerCast, I can do that off the fucking wing of my whatever, but the Hockey Cast, I gotta listen to a bunch of podcasts, do my own research, put the show together. Weekly, the wrestling, I gotta watch a ton of wrestling every week and just dedicate myself to that. I gotta sit and watch it. I can't really do anything else, so I can't keep up anymore, peoples. I'm sorry, but let me know what you think about all that. But the GamerCast is secure, so let's get back to that. Let's get back on that show. So what have I been up to over the last week or so? Well, I've had more time on my hands because now I can play games while I'm watching wrestling and do other shit, so I have a bit more time for movies and video games now. So I got 2 new movies in this week. So let's talk about Warfare. Warfare just dropped on Prime, I think a week ago or something, and I had some hype on this movie. I saw the reviews were very good, especially from the fan side of things. I don't really listen to the movie reviewers. I listen to the fan perspective of it because I think movie reviewers are just too into themselves. They get way too film critique on stuff, and I'm like, nah. A lot of movies they review badly. I'm like, yo, that movie was awesome. And a lot of movies they review, oh, this is a must-see, amazing movie. I'm like, wasn't that good. So I checked out Warfare, and Warfare shockingly has the jump scare of the year so far. Holy crap. There is a scene in that movie, so it's all about, I believe, the Afghan war, and it's a very very it's based on just the telling of a story of the soldiers that were in this event in Afghan, and it's a pretty simple situation. Like, they're hunkered down in Afghan, they're in this building, and it starts to get a little shady. Some people they're getting scouted, they're getting nervous, they want to get the fuck out of there, and shit starts to go wrong. They start, the attackers start to form a situation, they're preparing an attack, and it's getting very intense, and then their pickup comes. And this is where the biggest jump scare happens. I'll let you view it for yourself, but holy crap. I was, like, on the edge of my seat, because I was like, they're huge. They have a great, like, tension buildup in this movie. Like, I'm on the edge of my seat just waiting for this thing. I'm like, and then it goes down, and I jump back in my seat, scared the shit out of me. So, good for you, Warfare. Was not expecting a jump scare, but a good movie overall. A 90-minute military movie. That's got to be one of a million. Every time it's got something to do with war, it's going to be at least 17 hours long. So this is a nice short movie. It's intense. It's got some good action in it. It's got some decent scenes. It is a little, war monotone. Like, they're army men. Like, there's not a lot of personality that, like, I don't know what I'm saying, really. I'm getting too film critique about it myself right here, but it was good. I enjoyed it. The action was good. It was a very accurate telling from what I could tell. I wasn't fucking there. I wasn't in Afghan fighting the war, but it seemed pretty accurate to how it goes down over there. Very scary, but it was a good watch. Good watch. I'd recommend it 7 out of 10. That's on Prime. And then I went back in time and I rewatched 28 Days Later. So 28 Days Later, actually, this movie has stuck with me apparently since I watched it when I was a young kid. I haven't seen this movie since then, but there's a scene in 28 Days Later that has stuck with me, traumatized me, I guess, because I've remembered it very vividly. And in 28 Days Later, the scene is when the dad is yelling at the crow that's eating a dead body, and then the blood trickles down and it goes in his eye, and he gets infected. And that scene has stuck with me for over 20 years, I think, when I first saw this movie. I was like 9 years old maybe when I saw 28 Days Later for the first time. And I didn't understand the movie fully, so I was like, dang, I wonder if it is the movie. So I did rewatch it, and it was 28 Days Later. I did see this movie when I was a kid, and now I understand it a little better, especially that ending scene when they're like at the mansion and what those men at the mansion intend to do. That definitely went over my head as a child, did not as an adult, and I was like, that's messed up, that's fucked up, let's kill all these motherfuckers. But what a great movie. I want to get into the other ones. I don't think I've seen 28 Weeks Later, and now there's 28 Years Later, so I want to watch those both. So I had to start from the beginning, and yeah, there is one of the creepiest scenes in 28 Days Later happens pretty early in the movie when the main character who wakes up from a coma, he's just roaming the streets, and he decides to go into a church. And when he goes into the church, he like makes some sounds, and like a bunch of the infected like look up at him. And just the way they look up at him, and there's like kind of minimal sounds, that really creeped the hell out of me, man. I don't know, like I just kind of felt like I was in that scene right there, and I was like, I would have been fucking terrified to see like 8 or 9 of these things just look up at me all at the same time, and I'm just like, oh shit. So that was, there's some very effective scenes from 28 Days Later that you can tell had a ton of influence on things like The Walking Dead and even The Last of Us. So it's kind of a trendsetter a little bit, and I was happy to rewatch it. So I would definitely recommend it. I watched this one on Crave. That's where I found this one. So if you're interested, it's definitely worth a rewatch. I gave it a 7 out of 10. But with, it being a bit of an older movie, I'd crank that up to an 8. I think it's a great movie still. Definitely worth a watch. It was a little, a little empty at times. Not a lot happening. It's a lot of atmosphere and just kind of like, oh, wow, this is very dystopian. This is very unsettling. It's a very unsettling movie, but quite good. Quite good. It... They say it goes through like all the typical zombie tropes like in a hour and a half. Like you get all the big hits in this movie. It's great. Definitely worth a watch. Go check it out. What else do we got? We got some TV shows. I started watching Resident Alien. This is also on Crave, and damn, dude, this show is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. One of the funniest shows I've seen in a hot minute. And it's all about this alien that crash lands on Earth with the intention to kill everybody on Earth. But he crash lands, he loses his device, so now he's got to blend in with the humans, and he decides to be a doctor, and hilarity ensues. It's just this, alien that's trying to fit in, and it's very awkward, and there's just constant hilarity. My favorite part of the show is the alien absolutely despises this child that can see his true form. And he's like, dickhead, calling him fucking horrible names and stuff. The kid's like, you're so mean to me. What's wrong with you? It is hilarious. My wife is just dying laughing. She's loving it. It's a great show. I would highly recommend you check this one out if you're looking for a good laugh. It's got Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball in it. Like, come on now. What more? And he is brilliant in the show. A lot of great characters. I love the sheriff and the deputy. The mayor is just a idiot. A lot of great characters. The town Hoa, she's ridiculous. She's always up in the fucking getting into crazy shit. There are some wholesomeness, there's some nice little story bits to the show as well. Admittedly, I'm playing video games while I'm watching it, so I'm there for the funny bits. I tune out for the more sentimental parts of the show, but still a great watch, man. Check it out. Resident Alien. It's got 4 seasons now. I don't know if it's going past 4 seasons, but hell yeah, I am into it. And let's talk video games. Monster Train 2, still playing Monster Train 2. So freaking fun. I got all 8 of the champions now unlocked, so I'm just trying all these different combinations. Still can't win for the life of me with the lunar person. I have gotten to the final fight and lost within an inch, such close, devastating losses. So that really hurt. That sucked. And so I'm still plowing away through Monster Train 2. I downloaded Rematch, hoping I can get into a few matches of that this weekend with the homie Rob. See, some friends at work have all kind of gotten onto it, so I'm hoping I can get into it and see what the hype is about. This feels like Rocket League when it first came out. Now, I know the reviews aren't as high. There are some problems with the game, but all I'm hearing is that it's hella fun, so I want to check it out. I'm going to give it a try, hopefully this weekend, and see how that goes. And what else have I been playing? Final Fantasy VIII, I think I'm done. I tap out on Final Fantasy VIII. I still can't figure out what the hell I'm doing, so sadly I'm done. I'm not fucking doing it no more. I moved on to other games, and that other game was Harvest Moon 64, which then I moved on to another game after that. Now, but quickly on Harvest Moon 64. I adore Harvest Moon. It's one of my all-time favorite franchises, just cause, I grew up on the PS1 Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, I think that was one of my earliest gaming addictions, and I love that game. I played it to death, and I still have not replayed it since I was a very young kid. I never owned this game, and I've always been trying to. I thought the Harvest Moon 64 was the same game. It is not. It is different. It's very similar, but it is different. It is different from my memories as a kid. There are things missing, and I started replaying it on my Switch, and I was like, oh, this is hard to play nowadays. The menu system is a fucking mess. It's just not very good at all. So I started playing Stardew Valley again. Oh, shit. So I had my Stardew Valley days on PlayStation back in the day, put 90 hours in it, did everything, and then I bought it on Switch, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play this, it's going to be awesome, and I played for a little bit, I started a new farm, and I was like, I'm a little burnt out, I'm good, and now I've revisited that farm. I was 20 days in or something, and it took me a second to figure out what was going on, but I'm back in Stardew Valley, y'all. I'm back. I'm in there, I'm doing the whole thing, and I am all the way back in. I am addicted to this. This is what I'm playing when I'm watching wrestling now. It is phenomenal. I'm having a blast replaying Stardew Valley, so maybe there's an episode that I can combine Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon together, because I can't really play a Harvest Moon anymore, the old ones, because Stardew Valley exists, and it is the perfect farming simulator game. There's not much better than that, man. There might be some newer ones out there now that I haven't checked out, but Stardew Valley still holds to be the quintessential farming simulator game for me, and I love it, and I've been playing the shit out of it and having a blast. So there we go. That's all the stuff that I have been playing. Well, I have been playing a ton of Armored Core 6, the game we're going to be talking about. I literally just finished my 3rd playthrough of the game. Yes, you heard me correct, and I am going for the 4th because I fucked up the 3rd playthrough, so I got to go through it again. My bad. But I love this game so much that I am not even upset about it. Nowhere near as upset as I was when I fucked up my playthrough of Demon's Souls, the remastered version, to get the platinum, and I had to go through a whole nother run of that game. That took about 7 years off my life. So yeah, that That's unfortunate, but not Armored Core 6. This is a different situation, so let's talk about it. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. A big long name, my goodness. FromSoft, you son of a bitch. You done did it again. Another absolute banger. Armored Core 6. I have never played an Armored Core game before. When this one dropped, I was beyond interested. I was like, yo, I didn't even know FromSoftware made the Armored Core games. I remember seeing them like a bunch on like Metacritic and stuff like that. Reviews for Armored Core were never really good. And I can understand that from like the early games. There is an incredible Vati video where he goes through all the Armored Core games up to the release of Armored Core 6. And he plays through all the games and he explains the controls in the older ones. And it's like, okay, I can see why these are not very good. The controls, the aiming was not using analog until very, very late into the series. I don't think they got to analog controls until like the 360 games, which is fucking crazy. But they were like, we're going to make this work. This is how we started, and we're going to continue doing this, and we will not go to analog. All right, fine, we're going to analog. And then they got pretty good. But this one is the only one that ever caught my attention. The reviews were quite good for Armored Core 6, actually better than I remember. I thought it was at like a 79, 80 on Metacritic. Nah, it's at like an 85, 86 on Metacritic. And I'm like, oh, anyway, a friend of mine was talking about it. He's been playing it. And I was like, damn, I looked it up. It was on sale. The cheapest I've ever seen it. It was like $40. Picked that sumbitch up and started playing it immediately. And I have not been able to put it down. I am so addicted to playing this game. And it's strictly the gameplay. I'm not going to be the guy to tell you the story of this game right here. Go to Vati Vidya. He's got a 6-hour video explaining the story. He's got more story behind this game than the game does. Like, I can beat the game faster than he can do that video. Like, it's crazy, bro. So we're going to get into this game, but I'm sticking to the gameplay stuff. The story, it was background noise for me. It was very cool. There's a ton of badass moments that happen in this game. But, like, as for, like, what the story is, I don't fucking know. I just wanted to shoot some mechs and build some badass mechs and mechs. I love mechs, bro. Back in the day, my sister used to watch Gundam Wing, and sadly, that was at a part where my dad told me to go to bed, but my sister could stay up and watch Gundam Wing. But I was allowed to stay up and at least watch the intro to Gundam Wing, which was incredible. And I was always enamored with Gundam Wing. I thought it was so cool. The mechs were so cool. The dude Troa, I don't know, that name Troa I used for years and years for like so many creative whatevers. And yeah, so I like mechs, man. Mechs are cool. I don't have any or anything like that. I don't even think I own any mech games aside from Armored Core. But damn, dude, this game freaking hits. So what the heck is it? It's a FromSoftware game, of course. But don't worry, it is hard. I won't tell you that it's not hard, but it is, I would say, the easiest FromSoftware game that I've ever played and beaten, especially once you get to, like, New Game Plus. Holy crap. I can fly through this game in, like, 4 hours. Just crushing it. Destroying bosses. But my first run, yeah, there was some challenge there. Absolutely. But the great thing about the challenge of this game is that there is always an answer to whatever challenge you come up to. If you come up to something that's too fast, you can counter that. If you come up with something that's too powerful, you can counter that. There's always a way to win these battles. Maybe not always easily, but there's always a way. So this is great. So what are you? You are basically, you're this augmented human that can ride and pilot these ginormous mechs. And one thing I must say about this game is that the scale is absolutely insane. And it doesn't really come off right away. You kind of have to see it, and then you notice how big the scale is in this game. So you'll be in your mech, and you might just be like, I'm in a mech. Whatever, it's a mech. It's, what, I'm maybe 8 feet, 9 feet tall? No, you're about the size of a fucking 10-story building. You are huge. These things are massive. This world is massive. And there are parts in this game where you get a sense of scale, like how small, like there's a door for a human, and it is way down. You're like, whoa, look at that little door down there. So you are massive. These machines are massive, and this world is huge, and it looks awesome. It may not be, we'll slide into graphics a little bit here. It may not be the most pretty From Software game in terms of like the art style. It's, futuristic. It's got a lot of nice, smooth steel buildings, and, everything's futuristic-y looking, so it's a little bit plain, but I mean the skies look beautiful, the colors in the clouds, and just the atmosphere in this world looks absolutely insane, probably due to the fires of Rubicon or whatever these fires that have happened, the cinders and all these cool words that they like to use in this game. But graphically, it's a nice looking game. Now my biggest thing on this game is its performance. It is amazing. I had one time, just once, when I was probably admittedly going too fast and rushing through cutscenes and all that, I crashed the game. I froze it, and that happened once. But the frame rate in this game, for how fast and frantic it is at times, holds up beautifully. It is a beautifully running game. It's so smooth, so fast and efficient. It is amazing. Like, I am very, very impressed with how the performance is in this game. Graphically, it's great. It's great, but it's no Bloodborne. It's no Sekiro. It doesn't have that flair to it. There are moments. There's definitely some moments, but there were not a lot where I was just kind of standing there and just taking it in. Nothing like Bloodborne. Like Bloodborne, almost every step in that game is like walking in a museum. It is just gorgeous. Everything is just... This game, I think it's the sense of scale that kind of hurts its art style, because things are so massive. They can't put like an insane amount of detail on it without harming the performance of the game, I would imagine. So it may not be a stunner, but she's looking real good and performs unfreaking believably. So let's get into the gameplay, because this is the well, hold on. Maybe we should talk about like sound design really quick. It's great. The music's great. Everything sounds awesome. The fucking missiles shooting all over the place, lasers, everything sounds awesome. The voice acting is really good. You got these kind of like handlers, people that are in your ear, and both of them are great. They're kind of assisting you throughout the game. And during some of the really intense boss fights, they're like, just a little bit more 621. Your name is 621, aka Raven, aka whatever the hell, Gun 13. You got a lot of nicknames going on. You start out as a nobody mercenary, but very quickly start to build a very good reputation. You start getting called for, like, you're a mercenary, so people start calling for you personally by name. They're like, I want Raven, he's the best, and all that shit. So it's all about making money, baby. You're taking on contracts. You don't really care. Like, you can fight for these people and then turn your back on them the next second. It's awesome. So it's all about making money, getting new weapons, getting new fucking pieces for your mech, and it is just delightful. And you can replay all the missions over and over again, and the missions are delightful. Missions can take you anywhere from 5 to maybe 15 minutes on the high end. They're pretty quick, pretty fast, especially on replays. Holy crap, you can fly through the missions in this game. I think it's 5 chapters. Each chapter has a bunch of missions within it. I don't think any of them are like optional. I think you just kind of do them all. But throughout the game, as you get new playthroughs, you get new options. So you go through the game normally. The first time you get the ending. There are 3 different endings to the game. And once you get to the end of the game, I am jumping the gun big time here, but I don't give a shit. Once you get to the end of the game, it goes right into New Game Plus, and almost immediately you notice new things like right away. You got different missions, like you got options now all of a sudden, like, oh, I can choose to fight with these people or fight against them or go destroy this thing or defend it. You're like, whoa, what the hell? And that's all because there's a bunch of different endings in the game, and I usually am super against that. I fucking hate games with multiple endings and all that, but this game is actually designed for you to play through it multiple times, and it is highly recommended that you do so because it allows you to try out there are so many weapons and loadouts that you can play with, bro, that you're gonna want to play through this game maybe even more than 3 times like me. I might even play through it a 5th time. I might platinum this bitch. I am having a blast with it. I can't put it down. So, with that being said, let's talk about the gameplay, because this is, like I said, where the bread and butter is of this game. I'm also going to be talking about the bosses and how I did with them. I'm going to tell you about my favorite loadouts in this game and all that great stuff. So, let's get into it. So, like I said, you're taking on missions. It's all about making money, baby. Fucking get as many credits. Literally, my latest playthrough was all about making credits. Since I fucked it up, and I already screwed it up, and I wasn't going to get the ending I wanted, I was like, well, I guess I'll just make money. So I was just picking the options that gave me the most money. Like, one was actually really difficult. I had to fight like 3 ACs by myself, which is tough. But I got like a shitload of money for it. So I was like, okay, this is worth it, because I'm trying to buy every weapon in the game, and there's so freaking many of them. All right, so obviously you're building a mech. You start out with a pretty whatever mech. It's fairly simple, it's basic, and there's a bunch of parts that you can change out. So you get 4 weapons. You get 2, you got both your hands, and then you got 2 shoulder weapons as well. And dude, there are so freaking many different kind of weapons. There's a lot, there's categories of weapons, but then within those categories, there's like a bunch of varieties of it. So you got machine guns, you got lasers, plasma weapons, missiles, bazookas, melee weapons, there's shields, the more you play the game, you start getting like weirder weapons. There's like these needle things, there's more stun weapons. There's like, let's talk melee weapons here for a hot second, because one of the earliest weapons you get is a melee weapon, and I literally ran that weapon through almost the whole entire game. It is very, very, very good. It's just a laser fucking sword, basically. Very Gundam Wing. I was like, oh, this is badass. I'm really down with this. But there's a lot of really cool and very satisfying melee builds you can build. I feel like I'm gonna say build a lot in this episode, so I apologize, but holy crap. So the coolest one, it may not be the best, but the coolest one that I unlocked is it's a lightsaber. It's Darth Maul's lightsaber. It is a dual-sided fucking lightsaber. I was like, I need that immediately. Started using it. I'm like, it's so, but it looks cool, man. Like, you can literally, like, you're spinning the thing, and you can, like, deflect bullets. It does a lot of damage. It's just really hard to use. It's got not a great, area of effect, I guess. There are some other weapons. There's this plasma blade that you get. It's like the second one you unlock. Holy, that is one that you could literally use the whole entire game. It is tricky. There are some bosses that make it very difficult for you to get in close. And like I said, there's a bunch of different play styles. So this is like the up close and personal style, obviously, with a melee build. With that build, I use what I call Speedy Gonzalez. Very fast, very jumpy, just all over the place, hard to hit, hard to lock down. I am all over the place, and I can move in quickly on enemies and get that melee attack off very fast. So that was a loadout that I like to use. You can pair that with pretty much anything, a pistol, machine gun, bazooka, like whatever the situation calls for. And these mechs you can interchange the weapons not like on the fly during the mission. You gotta set your loadout in before the mission starts. So, but if you die, it'll go to the option. You can reassemble your mech. You can change out parts. You're like, oh, I need some more range, so I'm going to throw on, I don't know, a laser or something. My melee's not working. I'll load out a different mech. So it's really quite easy to change out your mechs. You can save as many loadouts as you want. It's awesome. I have like 7 loadouts, and yeah, they're all different kinds. You know what I'm saying? We'll get more in detail on the loadouts, but tons of weapons, like I said. Machine guns might be like you can dual wield shit, obviously, so you can like have 2 machine guns if you want. You can have 2 bazookas. You can change it up. You can go bazooka machine gun. You can go melee bazooka. You can go, there's so many options. There's got to be like over 1 million freaking different varieties of mechs, probably more. Like, there's an insane amount of stuff. So you can interchange the weapons. Your back weapons, that can be, so you have a different kind of category of weapons, but you can also use your hand weapons. You unlock that ability later. So you can sit there and have 4 miniguns on you. The miniguns are insane in this game, by the way. Probably my favorite build is double chain guns with the double songbirds, which are 2 double missile launchers. So you shoot off 4 missiles, blast through the shield, and then you just pepper them with chain gun, and you just watch that health bar melt away, baby. It is out of control. So on your back, that is more missile based. You can put like a bunch of different missiles. You can shoot upwards to like 10 or 12 missiles at a time. So you could shoot like 24, 28, maybe 30 plus missiles at a time. There was a mech that I had to fight that was doing that shit, and it was quite a lot to handle. It was quite hard to dodge. So you can make some absolutely ridiculous fucking things. So another big aspect of the game is obviously the frame of the mech that you're building. And the biggest change in gameplay is the legs. So you start at the legs. So you got like 3 main types of legs. You got like normal fucking like humanized looking legs. They look like legs. Then you got like the spider one, which is 4 legs and it walks around like a fucking spider. That one's interesting because it can actually stay airborne. So all your mechs can jump. They have boosters and they can stay airborne for an amount of time until your boost is out. But this mech can stay in the air and you can just hold it up in the air. It does take energy, just kind of goes down slowly. So that one's rather interesting. I was using that one a lot. Then you got the tank, it's got a tank body. So it's got the track. It's not as mobile. It is super defensive. It can carry a whole shitload of stuff. So if you want to you want to go gun heavy, like I want the heaviest bazookas, I want the craziest missiles on me, you're going to be using like a tank. And there's a very interesting one, which is like a floating tank. So it's kind of like this airborne floating in I've never used it yet. I have not used it, but I fought a few of them. It looks terrible. It looks like a nightmare to use because it's so massive and bulky. It'd be very hard to dodge anything, but damn, you would have the power though. You would absolutely have the power. So with those frames, that's generally where you're gonna kind of start your loadout, your build of the mech. You're gonna start at the feet and figure out what you want to do. Now, in terms of like the actual legs, there's a ton of varieties. You can go armor heavy. You got these massive fucking thick legs you can put on. They have like, I don't know what they're the reverse joint legs, I think they're called. Those are good for jumping. So there's like a few different kinds. They will launch you high up into the air. They're great for aerial builds, and being in the air, in the air you're harder to hit. If you stay on the ground, you can really get exposed by missiles. Like things with splash damage can really fuck you up. So I like to stay in the air. So the double joints are really good. They'll get you up there and keep you up there for a long time. That's always nice. And what other kind of legs you have? You can also build like really heavy mechs with feet as well. Like there's some that can take on a lot of weight. You may not have the maneuverability. You may not be able to have the generators that you need. But yeah, again, there's a lot of parts to these machines. So then you have the arms. Arms are pretty basic. Like you just put on beefier arms to carry your heavier shit. You can put on lighter stuff for obviously more ability to move faster. I always prefer speed over power. I like to kind of build them down the middle. A little kind of definitely trending more towards speed. I will definitely sacrifice some defensive abilities for speed. I am better at dodging things than just getting hit straight on and just eating it, tanking it out. I prefer the maneuverability, if you will. So that's me, but they have a whole variety of different arms. They will give you advantages with certain weapons, certain arms. You have heads. You can put on a whole bunch of different heads. Some of them are rather funny looking heads. One is like literally a no head, like the head is down inside, so you're like headless. It's wild, man. There's a ton of customization, and all of this kind of like your main mech has like AP attack power. So the more you have, the more you can shoot, the more you can do, and you have generators as well. So you're gonna, depending on your build. So laser weapons uses more energy, so you're gonna need a bigger, more powerful generator, which is you're gonna be a little heavier. So personally, I don't use laser weapons at all. I have a laser build where it's all laser stuff, and it kind of sucks. Like the lasers just really aren't all that good. I did read that there was a patch for the game that made laser weapons better, but the only laser weapon I use is I have a gunslinger build, and it's dual laser pistols, and it's pretty decent, especially in the earlier levels. It's quite fun to go around just kind of gunslinging with your big fucking oversized pistols. Really cool. You also have chips, which will help with the range. So you have chips that are specialized in close range, medium range, long range. You got like kind of balanced ones. You got ones that are good for close and medium range. You got some that are good for medium and long range. All depends on your build. So like I said, it's very and you can seriously specialize like certain mechs. You can really expose them, but you can make a mech. Like I made Speedy Gonzalez. I sacrificed all the defense. I picked the lowest defensive stuff, the best that I can build, and I just loaded him up with power and speed. So he's, what do you call the glass cannon? So yeah, you got to be careful with Speedy Gonzalez, but he is a ton of fun to use. And you can go the other way too. You can just maximize power and defense, sacrificing mobility. It may not be a lot of fun. That's just my opinion. I really don't like the slow builds, and the ones that can't fly are really difficult too, because you're also playing missions, right? So you got to move. You got to move around. You got to fly to places. You got to do things. And there are certain builds that, like, you can really struggle to get through missions. Like, sometimes you're like, okay, I got to fly way over here, and my mech is up in the air, and it's down because it's so damn heavy. Like, oh boy. So there's sometimes there are some missions you're like, all right, I got to bring out this dude. Can't be using this one right now. I'm going to have to use this. But there are so many good builds, and if you are struggling to build things, there is the amazing arena. The arena is awesome. I feel like that's basically what the older Armored Cores were. It's basically you versus another specialized mech, and it is delightful. This is where you can learn, how to deal with certain builds. Like if you're struggling with a melee build, go up against a melee guy and figure it out. Like, okay, I got to learn how to do range or just know when to attack and all that stuff. So the arena is amazing. You go into the arena, you get money, a good chunk of change for the win, and then you get the OST chips. And the chips you can use to upgrade your mech to specialized in certain things. So you can upgrade your kinetic power, which is like actual bullets, which I use. I like to use bullets, but you do have to take this into account. You do have to pay for your bullets. You got to pay for yourself here. So you got to pay for repairs and you got to pay for ammunition. So on every mission, it doesn't really bother me much. I just go in guns blazing, don't really give a fuck. I'll pay for my ammunition. But if you don't want to pay for ammunition, I believe that's when you want to use like melee builds and lasers. Lasers just uses your own energy. So I think that's how you do it on the cheap, but I don't really worry about that one. Like I said, I just go in. But back to the OST things, you can also unlock kind of specialized powers. So you can they have like the assault one where you can kind of explode into a little bit of energy. It does decent damage. Like I used it. It was okay. You got the barrier, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can just generate a barrier around yourself for like 10-15 seconds. You can upgrade it to have more, so you can have like 2 or 3 of them, but they have to charge up a little bit, so you gotta wait like a couple minutes before you can use it. You got a bubble shield. I've never used it because you gotta sit in the bubble shield for it to work. I'm like, I move around too much, I can't be using that one, so I don't use it. And then the other one I used for pretty much the whole game was the terminal armor. If your mech gets destroyed, you will just, instead of dying, you will just kind of get a barrier around you. You got like 10 seconds to rather kill or be killed because you got 1 health left. So yeah, it's that one has saved me quite a few times where I was dead, terminal armor kicks in, I get the kill, and boom, I win. So I'm like, yo, that terminal armor, I think the terminal armor and I think it's the pulse armor are the ones that I use the most, just to have a barrier around me. Quite useful, especially if there's an enemy that is going to shoot off a really big, hard to avoid attack. You can just put up a barrier, it'll take all that. There's even some missions where like you got to get through, like there's a fucking big gun down there and it's blasting at you, being really annoying, and you got to get close to it before you can blow it up. You can use the shield, block its fucking annoying attacks, and just get right to it. You know what I'm saying? So you got that. You got some other little special moves like a quick turn I never use. You can manually what's the aim? There you go. There's the word I'm looking for. You can unlock that, which, so fun fact, I found out about the lock-on system in this game 85% of the way through my first playthrough. And let me tell you, there was a lot of times I could have used that lock-on. Now, the lock-on isn't as amazing as you think it is. It'll help you for sure get your shots off, but it also hurts your accuracy at the same time. It helps you keep up with whatever you're locked onto. If it's really fast and jumping around all over the place, it helps there. But you tend to get better accuracy manually shooting. That's what I was told anyway. But yeah, there was a certain boss. We'll get to it. I'll talk about the boss fights. But a certain boss was flying around. I was like, I can't fucking do this. Then I found out about lock-on, beat her in like 2 tries. I was like, fuck. So yeah, that was really upsetting to do that. I did the same freaking thing in Sekiro. I didn't learn about Makiri counters until the final boss of the game. And yeah, that's I'm not a tutorial guy. I hate tutorials. I just blaze through them. I'm not listening. And yeah, I miss crucial things like that. So I'm an idiot, but there's a lock-on system. Press R3 and boom, you can lock on to shit. It's not great. It was an initial negative that I had for the game was that the camera sucked. It doesn't. I suck. I just didn't know about auto lock-on. So the camera's fine. It does get frantic at times, especially if you have like a bunch of enemies coming at you at the same time and it kind of can't decide who it wants to lock onto. You can get a little lost there at some times. So there is still a little bit of camera issues, but definitely not as bad as I initially thought because I figured out lock-on. So that really, really helped me out a lot. And, yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You get missions, you choose the right mech for the right job, and you fucking get to work, and you destroy a bunch of shit. It's a lot of fun. A lot of cool shit happens on these missions. Like, I don't really want to spoil what happens, but basically, all the people that you're fighting in the arena, you're also going to probably fight them throughout missions in the game as well. So if, say, you run into one of these guys out in a mission, you're struggling to fight them there, go practice with them in the arena, and you could probably fight them in there. And like, yeah, it's really cool. I like the fact that the people that you're fighting in the arena also are in the story that you're dealing with. Like sometimes you'll just be in the middle of a mission and a fucking enemy AC will come after you, and then you gotta get into a battle, bro. Like you're in an arena style battle, you gotta fucking like, whoa. The only difference in the arena is that you cannot heal in the arena. It is one and done, baby. You get your health bar, they get theirs. First one to wipe it out wins. And it's a ton of fun. They're super fast, too. Like, you can get through an arena match in, like, under a minute. I shit you not. Like, the longest ones are, like, 55 seconds. So you just blaze through them. They're a ton of fun. They're challenging. There are some very, very interesting builds that they have in there. I talked about the missile one. I forget what their name is. I do have them written down here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find some of these people. New game, battles, answers, Cinder Carla was the one that had the 30 missiles. I found her very difficult initially because I just didn't know how to deal with it. I was like, oh my goodness, it's just constant barrage of missiles. I was like, what the fucking fuck, man? This is annoying. One dude had a flamethrower. You can also use flamethrowers. I tried them out. They're okay. You also got shotguns. Shotguns have become, in my third playthrough, I found out about the Zimmermans, which are these long-range kind of plasma shotguns. I've been dual-wielding those. Holy fuck, they are destructive. So shotguns are pretty decent, but the flamethrowers, you gotta get really close. They don't do as, you can find better ways to do damage, but it's annoying because this dude's shooting like 2 flamethrowers at you, and it's just hard to see because you're trying to see through all these flames. I'm like, where are you? Like, I cannot fucking find you. But then Cold Call also was rather difficult. That's the one that kind of inspired me to use shotguns because he was kicking my ass with his fucking shotgun. I'm like, damn, dude, this guy is fucking me up. I can't get away from him. His shotgun's got range as well. Like, really difficult to deal with. And then I fucking kicked his ass with Jump Tank. I brought out Jump Tank. Jump Tank was my homie. Jump Tank is pretty much what he is. He can jump, and he's pretty heavily armored for the mobility that he has. He has some pretty good mobility, and I am rocking double Songbird, double chain machine gun. Get the fuck out my way, bitches. I will destroy you. So Jump Tank by himself wiped out the entire arena. Jump Tank would also sometimes put a melee weapon on him just for a little bit of fun. So Jump Tank was good times. Jump Tank has been retired now. I had the new hotness, which is basically Jump Tank with a new frame. You unlock a really badass frame from like the final boss in the first run, and I used that for my entire second run. It was so much fun. I was unfucking stoppable. So that guy's called Maxwell. He's my cheesy build where there's just If I ever get into a little bit of problems, I pull out Maxwell, and Maxwell will get me through any problems that get in my way. So, and trust me, there are some problems that we have to deal with in this game. There are some very, very hard bosses. So let's talk about some of those bosses right now. Let's go. So you start off with, I don't know if I have them all in order here, or even all of them. There may even be one or two that I haven't gotten to yet, because let me tell you, that is the great thing about replaying this game over and over again, is you get new missions, you get new boss fights, you get new arena battles. It is one of the best new game pluses I've ever played. Okay, so let's get to the boss fights. Juggernaut messed me up, bro. Juggernaut was a fucking piece of shit on my first run, because you get into this boss fight and you have a friend with you. Every couple of missions, there's a few missions where you get some friendlies with you. Get some friendly ACs to come along with you, battle it out. Makes me think that this would be an awesome multiplayer game. Maybe with FromSoft kind of dipping their toes in this multiplayer thing with Elden Ring, Night Rain, or whatever, I could see Armored Core being fucking awesome, bro. That'd make an amazing live service game. Just saying. I hope they don't do it. I'd rather it just be the way that it is right now, but I'm just saying, it'd be awesome. So this bitch fucking leaves me halfway through the fight, and the Juggernaut's really tough because I did not have the speed to handle this guy. So the problem is you gotta hit him in the back. But this guy's got this massive fucking booster on him. He's just boosts to the other side of the... When you get close to him, he's just... Zoom, he's off to the other end. And I just didn't have the stamina to fucking keep up with him and get to the back of him and shoot him. So, to do big damage in this game, you have to break down their shield. So you got to build up their shield thing until it breaks. Once the red bar is full, it'll start beeping, and then that's when you unleash your biggest attacks. So you save your big missiles or whatever. Like, for example, my new shotgun build, I just blast them with the shotgun until their shield goes down, and then I blast them with a massive double bazookas, and it just wipes out about 2/3 of their health in one shot. So it's very effective. You just got to break down that shield. So if you can break down the shields, you leave them wide open for an attack, and bam, that's when you do the big damage. So with this guy, you had to get to the back, break down his shield, then you can hit him with a big attack. And he leaves you halfway through the fight. I've literally gotten him down to 1/3 the health, but before he will leave, and I got killed. He just fucked me up. So now I have no problem with him. I have a super fast build that can just get around him, no problem. I think I initially was using a melee build on him. Not ideal, not a good idea at all. But Juggernaut initially was a little hard. Oh yeah, all these bosses were hard on the first playthrough. But on the second playthrough, we're good to go. Except for one. Okay, we'll get there. Armored Helicopter was really tough until I figured out how to get through its shield. So it had a different shield going on. It's a pulse shield. Really fucking annoying. And it's stronger than a normal shield. So I was trying to figure out certain weapons that can take it out fast. And there are some specialized weapons for that. But it left me with no offense. So I was like, fuck. So I was really struggling to find a build that could take down the Armored Helicopter. Now I get through it so easily. I think the way I took it out the first time was with the plasma sword thing, and it's great because it's got a huge area of effect of an attack. If you hold down that button, it'll do a big swinging spin attack, and it'll just big circle around you, and anything in that fucking circle gets nailed, and it just eats through shields and shit. So I'll probably hit it with one of those, and yeah. The only problem with a melee build is that if you miss, or even if when you're doing the initial swing, it leaves you exposed, completely exposed. That's how I destroy melee builds. I wait for them to try and hit me. I'm like, you load that thing up, I'm gonna fucking end you. And then I see them go for the swing, and I hit them with the big missile. It breaks their shield, and then they get absolutely obliterated because they're just sitting ducks. So I'm able to deal with melee builds really easily. But I want to talk a little bit more about melee builds because there's a lot of fun melee weapons to use. I don't know what it's called, but it's this ginormous, fucking hammer thing. It is so hard to use, but it is so satisfying if you can hit someone with that fucking thing, because it's just whammy! It is so satisfying, but it's very difficult to use. I used it for a little bit, but then I always end up going back to my plasma sword or the laser sword or whichever of those two. They're both great. So that was difficult, but eventually I got through the Armored Helicopter. Sea Spider is actually really easy, I found, in all playthroughs, because it's so massive that it's really, really easy to hit with all weapons. Even lasers, I find lasers miss all the fucking time. Like, I can never hit anything with a laser unless I'm right in its freaking face about it. But Sea Spider, super easy, had no problem. You got, so some of these might be like the second playthrough bosses, but the Cataphract was tricky because this dude comes in, he is surrounded by like a tank, but in the middle is him. Like, he's just a dude sitting in there, but he's surrounded by this tank. So you got to hit him in a specific spot, like right down the middle. And if you can get right in, but he's always turning to the side and he's blocking you. So you're like, fuck. So he can be a little bit tricky. He fucked me up a couple of times because I was like, I'm just hitting him and I'm getting all this ricochet damage. What the hell? I'm like, where is he? I'm like, oh, he's tucked in the middle there, you little son of a bitch. So you kind of got to get in close and personal with that guy. Double shotguns took him out, no problem. Who else we got? What do we got? We got, Raven. Raven was so hard the first time because she heals herself multiple times, and I don't like that. I mean, I'm a hypocrite because you're healing multiple times, so why can't they? So when the other ACs start to heal themselves, you're like, damn it. So I had a ton of problems with Raven until she got introduced to Jump Tank. Jump Tank came down with the bazooka melee build and beat the living shit out of Raven, but she was, to this point, the hardest boss in the game. She was a real tough. Now I destroy her. She's got no answer for me. Don't even fuck with me, Raven. How dare? And you trying to steal my name? I think that's why we got in a fight, because we had the same name. Then you get the Ice Worm. The Ice Worm is more of a cinematic fight. I mean, you can lose. Like, I lost to it. I got killed. It's this giant worm that appears during one of the missions. And you're like, oh, fuck. Then we got to develop this special weapon to take it out. Then you got to put it on. That's part of the mission. They're like, yo, like, make sure you're reading the thing, because sometimes there's like special things you got to do, like a certain weapon you might have to use. Like on the Ice Worm mission, you have to put on this like huge railgun thing, and then you and like 4 other homies go out there in the ice fields and you take out this worm, and it is badass. I think it's Rusty. Rusty is the homie. He's the guy that's always calling you buddy, and he is so cool. Spoiler alert. In different playthroughs with different endings, you gotta fight him, and it's sad. I don't like fighting him. He's hard, and I like him because he calls me buddy. That's a nice thing to call me, and he's really nice. And so during the Ice Worm fight, he's controlling this huge railgun, like way, way out in the distance. So you and the homies on the ice field, you gotta take down his shield. So that's where you come in with your big special gun. You gotta hit the worm in the face, and then this guy just unleashes the rail cannon. And then he takes down its shield. You go to town on it. You do that 3 times, you win. But it is badass. The last one, he goes all in. He's like, limiters off. And then he just goes 110%. And just big blast goes off. It is awesome. Super fun. Pretty easy fight, I found. I didn't really have much trouble with it, especially once I figured out how to, like, when to hit it and all that stuff. And that's another thing, man. Like, this game, like, I initially was just like, especially when I started doing like double machine guns, I was just shooting. Like, you don't just spray in this game. You have to time your shots. You got to make sure you're shooting at the right time, especially when you have like bazookas on your back and you only have one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. 8 Mile. Anyway, what am I talking about? Yeah, you have to make sure you're not just peppering shots to shoot. Like, I found myself doing that with my shotgun build. I'm just because I get into the rhythm of shooting it, and it's very satisfying. But I'm like, I'm not hitting anything. I'm just shooting because it's really fun. So you do have to aim your shots. Like, you got to time them. Make sure whatever you're hitting is stop moving. Try and hit them right before they launch their missiles to really get them like while they're sitting still. It's tough. It's tougher than it sounds because some people are fucking moving all over the place, and it can be tricky. Speaking of that, I think the next boss is the hardest boss in the game. Hold on. Nope, we still got one more before we get there. Enforcer was not too bad. Had some strong melee attacks, but with a melee build, I am very good at fighting them now. Keep your distance. Whenever I see that melee weapon about to be used, I just blast them with a fucking missile right in the face. Fuck you. Down they go, and that's all she wrote. Let's talk the hardest boss in the game. And it's not even the final boss. It's the Ibis series. Oh my fucking god. This thing, I did not think I could beat it. This was almost one of the hardest boss fights I have ever done until I figured out about lock-on. And once I figured out lock-on, it made it way more manageable. It was still very, very difficult. So this AC is using a different technology. It is faster than anything I have fought up until this point. It is fucking whipping around. It is all over the place. Lasers all over the place. It's got heavy melee attacks. It is a lot to handle. And it revives. Oh, it revived, and I was so fucking devastated. It took me so many tries just to take it down the first time. And then when that bitch got back up, I fucking damn near threw the controller through the wall. Like, I was yelling at FromSoft. I'm like, you motherfuckers, you always do this shit. You take it too far. This is too far. It's not that bad. Once you figure it out, especially lock on helps a lot to keep up with this lady or whatever the hell it is. Holy crap. It is a hell of a fight. It is a hell of a fight. I remember when I first beat it, I beat it with Jump Tank, but without the melee. I couldn't melee that bitch. She was too fast. So I just did double chain gun, double songbird. That's how I got through her. And initially, right away, right when the fight starts, you have a chance to hit her right away, like unguarded, and you can take down her shield, and you can pretty much take out like 3/4 of her health bar right away. And that's almost a must need to take her down for phase 2. Phase 2, she goes crazy. Way more lasers. Her melee attacks are fucking crazy, super aggressive, very fast. And yeah, she is a handful. She is still a handful for me at times. I can take her down usually 1 or 2 tries now. I've gotten her down pretty good, especially with Maxwell. Maxwell, the new hotness, can take her down pretty good. But it was a hell of a fight. It is one of the hardest fights I have ever gone through. It is the hardest fight in this game by far. And it is, yeah, it's definitely plagued with that From Software formula where they make it very hard. I'm happy it didn't have like a 3rd phase, a 4th phase, revive for a 2nd time. They had enough. That was enough. It was challenging, very challenging, almost too challenging, but that was mostly my own fault with not knowing how to use lock-on properly. But Ibis series does not fuck around. That is a hard-ass fight. Then you get to the final boss. I won't say who it is. It is very cool. You're just like, it's one of those fights you're just like, I did not expect it to be you. Like, I did not expect to be fighting you right here. And then, boom, you're fighting them. You're like, this is so badass. And wow. So, bam. And it's not the hardest fight in the game. I was so happy. I was like, oh, it's not going to revive 3 fucking times. It's not going to have 8 phases. Like, no, it was like an arena fight. It was me versus you, and I won, and boom, that was it. And the game ends, and then it goes right into New Game Plus, and like I said, New Game Plus is amazing. I cannot stop freaking playing it. So like I said, in New Game Plus, you get access to new things. Very early, like I'm talking like 2nd or 3rd mission, you already get like a choice. And you're hearing new dialogue, you're seeing new cutscenes, you're seeing new people. You're like, what the fuck? I was like, whoa. Then I realized, I was like, oh. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, so these new endings, like, it's actually worth it. It's not me just going through the exact same thing. Yeah, I'm more powerful now, but no, this game actually offers different paths, different fights, a lot of different shit. You get a whole different arena now. You got this like alpha arena with even harder freaking ACs to attack you. And that's, oh man, it is awesome. So freaking awesome. And every AC that you beat in the arena, you can use that AC. Like, you have to have the parts for it, but you can just download it. Like, oh, I want to use the best ranked number 2 AC in the world. I'm number 1. So ranked number 2 AC in the world. And you can just download that. If you have the parts for it, you can just use it. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to do for my 4th playthrough. I'm just going to like buy all the parts and just kind of use all these different mechs and see which ones are good, see which ones are bad. And that's always recommended to do as well. Like, go online, look up the funnest builds to use. That's where I got my, well, since we're talking about that, let's talk about the loadouts that I really like to use. Even though I pretty much talked about them all already, but why not talk about them some more? I could tell you about some of the fun names that I have. So we talked a lot about Jump Tank. Jump Tank got me through the arena, got me through really, really tough times. Now, that's my bazooka melee build. I like to go with the plasma sword thing with the big swing, a circular swing on it. That one's awesome. Bazooka, I don't remember which one I used. They're all really good. Like, you really can't go wrong with the bazooka. It is excellent. Pairs really nicely with the melee. You hit them with the melee, breaks down their shield, boom, you hit them with the fucking missile, and then boom, 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 you hit them with the double songbirds, and it's fucking over, dog. Fucking over, you're dead. Then we got Maxwell. Talked about him. That's double machine gun, double songbird. Obviously, I like the songbird a lot. You can use the earshot as well. The earshot is also a very good bazooka on your back. It's bigger, it's badder, but it only shoots once, and that's the one. I'll generally pair it. I'll go earshot, songbird, pair them up together. I'll use the songbird to break down the shield, and once that shield is down, you hit it with an earshot. Oh my, the damage, bro. The damage is out of control on the earshot, so check out the earshot. Also very, very good. And my new baby, I call him Ash. You know, Ash from Evil Dead. There you go. My double Zimmerman, my double shotgun build. Very, very effective and very fun. If anyone remembers Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty back in the day, the Model 1887 shotguns, you could dual wield those in online, and it basically feels like that. You just go boom, 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 and it's just like, this great cycle of constant power and pressure. You're pressuring the other ACs constantly, and the second that shield goes down, you're so fucked. Boom! Songbird earshot combo, get deaded, son. My wife was watching me play the arena, and she was just giggling because I was just slaughtering bitches in like 30 seconds. I would sit there and just like, all right, here comes Cinder. Boom, and they're dead. 30 seconds, dead. And she's like, how you killing them so fast? I'm like, because I'm fucking amazing. Don't you worry about it. So there you go. You got those. And Gunslinger, of course. Gunslinger, not the best one. This one's just more of a early game. It really just messes up it's not very good. Like, don't take in the Gunslinger for your Ibis fight because you'll get fucking mutilated. But it's pretty good at taking down shields, the pistols. You go through that, bam, songbird earshot combo. It's over, son. I have a difficult problem getting off of the songbird earshot combo on my back. I've used a ton of the other weapons. They just don't have anything on the songbird earshot combo, man. Like, I've used the plasma beams of every variety. It shoots 2, 4, 6, 8. They're fine. They add in some pressure, but they just don't have the power, bro. Like, I want power on my back. Like, I've used the big lasers. They're okay, but they don't have the accuracy. It's bazookas all day, man. Bazookas, I think, are probably the best weapons in the game to use. Now, I wouldn't go all bazookas because then there's especially, like, you can go all bazookas for a one-on-one AC fight, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, sure, but for missions, they're not great because you don't want to fucking use a big missile on a little fucking drone robot, right? You just use like a machine gun and then you're not wasting a lot of money and ammo. All that. There's a lot of fucking things to this game, man. I absolutely adore it. What else can we talk about? I did the boss fights. New Game Plus. Oh, so like I said, on New Game Plus, I can fly through it in about 3 to 5-ish hours. Probably around 4, like right in the middle. Takes about 2 sessions. 2 sit-down sessions with me, 2 hours, 4 hours, boom, you're through a playthrough. And I love just catching the new little things that happen. One of the best missions is hidden in New Game Plus, by the way. It is so fun. It's just, they give you unlimited boost, so you can just fly and fly and fly. And you just got to take down fleets of these massive warships, and you're like in a battle with someone else that's trying to take down more than you. So it's all about just taking down as many warships as possible. A lot of fun. That one was sick. And also some of the hardest freaking missions are in there too. One that I've yet to beat, it's the one that I fucked up, and it is hard, man. Wow. They make you fight 2 ACs, and then these pinwheel enemies come at you, and these pinwheels are they are just awful to deal with. They're the giant gear looking thing. They slam into you. They got a little hitbox that you got to hit perfectly to do damage to them. Then on top of that, they send in 2 more ACs you got to fucking fight. So it's a 2-on-1 fight with the pinwheel guys, and then another 2-on-1 fight with more pinwheel guys. It is fucking chaos. Probably the hardest mission in the entire game. But there is another one I'd say 1A, 1B hardest missions. The next one, I've beaten it, so I didn't think it was too bad. And it's the one where you do have to fight 3 ACs at once. Now, not technically. So you get on this mission, there's 2 of them. You're fighting 2. and then once you do a certain amount of damage to the two of them, a third one enters the fight. But it takes her a while to get there. So I had plenty of time to take out those two, and then I was just waiting for the other one to show up. I'm like, hey, there it is. Boom, took it out. It was like a one-on-one fight. I had no problem. That was the one I was dreading throughout. I heard about this fight like way back in the day. I heard about a 3-on-1 fight, and I was like, oh god, that sounds terrible. And it wasn't that bad, honestly. I got through it pretty easily with Maxwell, double chain guns, double songbird. It's over, son. No one's got answers for it. So if you're struggling there, there's your answer. All right, I think that's pretty much everything that I can talk about. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about the story because I don't go to VaatiVidya, man. VaatiVidya is the one to check out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up here. Let's go through the cons and the pros and let's score this bitch. So the cons, really the only thing that I can find is the camera. At times it can get pretty jumpy, it can get really chaotic to follow around some of the ACs, and you can just be like, I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. Sometimes it can be really crazy. Some of the levels are a little bit monotonous. You know, not every mission is a banger. Like there's one mission you got to go into this fogged up city, and you're just fucking traveling through it, trying to find these hidden things. I hate that mission. Don't like going through it. I got to do it. The bosses are really fun and challenging. Well, I guess that's not a con. That's not a con. The only other cons that I can come up with is that the storytelling isn't the best. Like the cutscenes are pretty cool, but like I don't really know what's going on all that well. That's kind of like, and a lot of information gets hidden away in like little logs and like information over here. Classic FromSoft stuff, but I imagine the story is really, really deep and very, very cool, and I will look into it, and I'll get all lored out with VaatiVidya, and it'll be amazing, but I didn't follow the story at all, which is not a uncommon thing for me, and really not a thing that I'm gonna, like, I don't have it jotted down here as an actual negative. It's just trying to bring something up here that I can say is a negative, because this game is so fucking awesome. Let's talk about how awesome it is. The customization variety is insane. I didn't even really go down that. You can paint these things, you can put on decals and all that, you can customize them, like, you can change all the colors too. Like, you can just go set all color to this, or you can go, I want my arms to be black, I want my feet to be red, I want my head to be yellow, and like, you can change all that. You can change the colors of your weapons, you can add patterns to them, you can add stickers and all this shit. You can download shit, like, you can lose a ton of time in customization. I didn't get too down into it. Like, I was putting stickers on my dude, I changed all their colors, I made sure everyone's got a different color. I think my best looking one is Maxwell. He is all smoked out black with red eyes, and like, oh, he looks so fucking badass. I got one dude that looks like a construction, yellow with the black kind of lines on him, so he looks like cautionary tape. It's really cool. Yeah, dude, the customization is awesome as well. And not just that, like in terms of building mechs, you can build so many different kinds: speedy, tanky, jumpy, flyy, just ridiculous looking, funny, like melee builds. The mech building is phenomenal. The combat is outstanding. It is so frenetic, fast-paced, chaotic fun. I love it. The arena is amazing. I wish there was more fights. And there's a lot of them. There's probably like 50 of them or something that you can go through. There's a lot of arena fights to deal with. The graphics and the performance are great. The sound design, the voice acting is great. And the replayability is fucking outstanding. I cannot stop playing this game. And it doesn't take long to go through another playthrough. I'm at, I don't know, maybe 34, 35 hours right now, and I'm starting my 4th consecutive playthrough. So I've gotten through this game 3 times, and that's probably one playthrough of like a normal Souls game. Like a Sekiro would probably take you about 30 hours to get through. A Dark Souls will take about 30 hours to get through, maybe more. So this is also one of the shorter FromSoft games, one of the easier ones to play, in my opinion. Is it easy? No, it's still hard. But if you're looking to try and get into From Software games, this won't help you get into the Dark Souls games, I don't think, though, because it's quite different. Yeah, it's quite a different gameplay style. Like, the Dark Souls games are much slower than Armored Core. I would say this is the fastest FromSoft game I've ever played, and it's a ton of fun. It's a 9 out of 10. It might even be higher than that. I could probably push it to a 9.5 just because if I do get into the story and like it really wows me, it could be a 9.5, maybe even a fucking 10. I don't know how much more I can want out of a mech building game like this. It is so much fun. I cannot recommend it more. Get it on sale. It's highly worth it for like $40-$50. I would definitely justify that price for it. You could pay full price. Why would you when you can get it on sale? Like it goes on sale on a regular basis, so I would definitely recommend buying this game. It is amazing, especially if you're a FromSoft person like me. You like all their games, and you maybe haven't tried Armored Core yet. Oh my goodness, I enjoyed this game more than Sekiro. I enjoyed this game more than Dark Souls 1, more than Demon Souls, more than... I haven't played Dark Souls 2 yet, so I can't say that. The only ones that are ahead of it is like Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3. I know that sounds like a lot, but did you just hear the games that I just listed off? Those are all-timers. It may even be better than Bloodborne. I haven't played Bloodborne in a long time. I need to revisit that game, but this game is incredible. I love this game. I'm so happy I bought it and played it and finally got to it, and I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. Did not see me going through this game as many times as I have and am not getting sick of it. Like the way I damn near I wanted to fucking throw up if I had to play through Demon Souls one more fucking time. I hate that game now and I never want to play it again. Completely opposite with Armored Core. I'm like, yo, I just want to keep going. Like if I still don't have all the weapons unlocked after this playthrough, I'll probably go through for round 5. I don't give a fuck. It is so fun, and I could fly through it so easily, and there's so many mechs to use. Like, why not? It is so fun. So yeah, it comes at a high recommendation from me. Definitely check it out if you have not already, and if you have, let me know. What's your favorite loadouts? What's your favorite builds? What's your favorite weapons? All that stuff, because I'll probably use it, bro. It's amazing. All right, so there we go, everybody. In terms of what else we got going on this week, probably not a lot, because not doing wrestling this week. There might be a pay-per-view. I don't think so we're probably in the clear there. HockeyCast, like, damn, there's so much news right now, and I really want to talk about it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do one more HockeyCast just as like a goodbye, maybe HockeyCast. I really don't know. I don't know what I want to do with it. Like, I really love talking hockey. It's something that I truly love to do. The WrestleCast, though, I'm pretty firm on that. I'm good on doing the weekly recaps. It's just too damn much work now, and I don't want to do it. So there you go. But thank you, everybody, so much who have listened to the WrestleCast. I'm not trying to be bleak, but it doesn't get a lot of downloads anyway. But I appreciate anyone and everyone that have downloaded and listened to the WrestleCast. I thank you very, very much. I'll still be doing pay-per-view reviews, so there is that. I'm still keeping up with wrestling. I'm still watching it. I'm just not dedicating myself fully to it anymore. It's just become too much. It's becoming boring. Kind of felt like I was just writing the same things week after week, and it was getting dry. And yeah, just kind of stop loving doing it. So we're just going to have to end it that way right there. But for the next GamerCast, I'm thinking I have quite a few ideas. I want to do like another PS5 review now that we're 5 years in. And I want to take a look at this generation, the PS5. And you know what? It may not be very good. You know, we'll take a look at this generation and discuss why it hasn't been that good of a generation. And so on and so forth. What else have I got going on right now? The Stardew Harvest Moon episode. Still been thinking about doing the rhythm game episode. There's still some rhythm games I'd like to play. Yeah, there's always something on my plate for the GamerCast, but send in suggestions and let me know what you're playing and all that great stuff. And I upload all these episodes to the YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. You can go over there, subscribe, please and thank you. I have a Twitter page. I don't really use it, but you can follow along if you would like. And what else is there? YouTube comments. You can comment on Spotify too if you'd like. And yeah, so there we go, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Go play some Armored Core 6. I'm going to go freaking play some right now because I freaking love this game. And we'll be back with some more GX Bluff Game.